a body parts found in the trunk of a Tesla owned by the singer David. We now know who the victim is in this case, and there are a lot of twists and turns.
Police just pulled a shocking discovery out of David's Tesla, a body chopped up and hidden inside. Within hours, the weapon used in the crime was dragged straight out of his own house, and that sent David into full-blown panic mode. Neighbors claim he bolted before cops could even cuff him, leaving behind blood-stained evidence, a wrecked career, and an arrest warrant now blasted across every screen in America. But here's where it gets even darker. The same art that fans once brushed off as edgy music videos and disturbing lyrics might have been David confessing in plain sight the whole time. So now the real question is, was this just some twisted coincidence? Or has David been dropping a trail of blood clues long before police finally caught up? That question shook everyone when the first major twist came out. Not long ago, workers at a Hollywood tow yard reported a nasty smell seeping from a black Tesla that had been abandoned for days. According to law enforcement, when officers popped open the front trunk, they were met with a horrific sight: the chopped-up, heavily decomposed remains of a young victim. The LA County Medical Examiner's Office later confirmed the body was a 15-year-old who had been reported missing months earlier.
According to the medical examiner, she was about 5'2", 71 pounds, with dark wavy hair and a distinctive tattoo on her right index finger. She was also wearing a tube top.
At first, investigators could only give the basics. A female victim, about 5'1", barely 71 pounds, with wavy black hair. According to the medical report, she was found wearing a tube top, black leggings, and just 2 small pieces of jewelry, a stud earring and a chain bracelet shaped like a W. Her body was in such a disturbing state that it took over a week before officials could even confirm her identity. The medical examiner couldn't lock in an exact cause of death right away, but police instantly treated it as a homicide. And then came the clue that changed everything. That Tesla? It wasn't stolen at all. It was registered under the name David Anthony Burke, David's real government name. This wasn't some random coincidence, and investigators wasted no time connecting the dots. The internet went wild when the story broke, especially once people realized the car linked back to the singer himself, and even worse, directly to Celeste. After investigators officially confirmed the body was Celeste, the case exploded. She had first been reported missing more than a year ago in Lake Elsinore, California, about 69 miles outside Los Angeles. And now the nightmare ending was exposed for everyone to see. At the time she vanished, Celeste was just 13 years old. Reports said she was last seen in gray pants, a black sweater, a hat, and Hello Kitty sandals. Months went by with no answers, and her family's worst fears grew heavier. When authorities finally made the official ID, her loved ones released a heartbreaking statement that shook the community. As many of you know, Celeste Rivas Hernandez has been identified as the body found last week. She was a beloved daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. Our family is devastated by this tragic loss. Her family even had to launch a GoFundMe to raise money for her funeral. The campaign was started by Esma Zamo and Giselle Vera, who described Celeste as a kind, bright soul who left too soon. But what made this case explode wasn't just the tragedy. It was the shocking connection to David. Back in 2023, David dropped a track where he appeared to sing directly about someone named Celeste, and fans noticed how the lyrics matched up with the real girl's story. In one verse, he sang, "Oh, Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed." Another leaked verse continued, "Afraid you'll only love me when undressed, but you look so dang gorgeous in that dress. Missing you so much makes me depressed." The internet lost it, not just because he name-dropped Celeste, but because the real Celeste had a distinctive tattoo on her finger. The exact same tattoo David has on his finger too. And if that wasn't disturbing enough, one of David's biggest hits was literally called Romantic Homicide, and it dropped on September 7th, the same day as Celeste's birthday. For her grieving family, though, this wasn't about shocking lyrics or viral theories. It was about justice. Her mother revealed Celeste had been in a relationship with someone named David. And suddenly, it wasn't just the music raising red flags anymore. Disturbing footage also surfaced online, allegedly showing David scrubbing down a pair of sneakers. What made this so unsettling is that the shoes looked nearly identical to the ones Celeste was wearing in photos posted on her own Facebook profile. The timing made it even more suspicious. According to online claims, that clip was recorded not long after Celeste was last seen. That single detail fueled speculation that David wasn't just cleaning his shoes. He might have been trying to wipe away evidence. For both investigators and fans, the imagery was impossible to shake off. Think about it. A missing teenager's shoes that matched her social media photos, and a singer caught on camera in what looked like a cover-up. That connection had people whispering that this case was spiraling into something way darker than anyone first imagined. And then came another bombshell. An old interview with David's creative partner Mahogany resurfaced, and his words now sound chilling in hindsight. In the clip, David explained how he created an alter ego he called Tommy, a Japanese word that literally means pain.
Like when I was as a detective, I'd be like solving murders that I'm committing myself.
But David didn't just describe Tommy as a stage persona. He detailed an anime concept where a detective is locked in a battle with his own alter ego, the dark side known as Tommy. The twist? Tommy was the one carrying out murders, while the detective was left trying to solve the very crimes his other self had committed. To make it even creepier, David compared Tommy to Tyler Durden from Fight Club, a sinister voice in his head that blurred the line between art and reality. That kind of art plants destructive ideas and drags a man straight into chaos. At the time, it might have just sounded like edgy creativity, another artist dabbling in dark themes. But now, with a teenager's death tied to his name, those words feel way more disturbing. Raising the question, was David simply inspired by fiction, or was he hinting at something much closer to reality? Those questions got louder once detectives turned their focus to his home. Police swarmed the property for hours, hauling out evidence bags and seizing electronics like it was straight out of a crime drama. Neighbors said the scene looked unreal, flashing lights everywhere, detectives moving in and out non-stop. Reports later revealed that investigators were searching for one thing above all: blood evidence that could connect directly back to Celeste. And that raised a chilling possibility. Had Celeste been killed inside the very home where David was staying? Then came the darker twist. A former deputy district attorney explained that even if a body is too decomposed to reveal the exact cause of death, certain bones, like the hyoid bone in the neck, can still show signs of strangulation. But the true bombshell dropped days later. Insiders claimed detectives had actually recovered what they now believe could be the murder weapon. And here's where it gets even wilder. Right after the raid hit headlines, David abruptly canceled the rest of his world tour. He had been out promoting his debut album, but suddenly every show was scrubbed from the schedule. His reps insisted he was fully cooperating with police, but fans weren't buying it. Online, people pointed out that just days before, David was still performing in front of a casket prop on stage, singing about death while playing both the killer and the victim in his own twisted performance. One more dance video, and suddenly people saw all of David's past performances in a chilling new light. But just when things couldn't get any stranger, the internet uncovered a twist that made this entire case even more bizarre. Fans started pointing out that David wasn't only linked to Celeste Rivas, but also to another woman named Celeste Herrera, a 23-year-old active on social media. Online sleuths noticed how David had interacted with both women, and some even argued the older Celeste looked strikingly similar to the younger one. That eerie resemblance sparked wild speculation. Was David chasing a substitute after losing the first Celeste? Fans online began suggesting that David's fixation didn't end with one girl, and that once she was gone, he projected the same obsession onto another. Things went into overdrive when David's own brother came forward online, claiming David had known Celeste's real age all along. And that revelation sent absolute shockwaves through the fandom. People began questioning why no one had stepped in sooner. But that wasn't the only disturbing detail. Remember the Hello Kitty theme? On January 25th, 2024, David posted a Hello Kitty-styled TikTok. A fan commented, "Please adopt me." And instead of brushing it off, David tagged an account with 0907 in the handle, the exact date of Celeste Rivas's birthday, and replied, "Should we?" That move raised eyebrows instantly. To many, this wasn't just a coincidence. And with all these clues piling up, investigators and the public alike started drawing a very dark line back to David. Adding even more heat, a TikTok resurfaced from January 2024 where a user directly called him out saying, "Wait for the LAPD to get you for messing with a 13-year-old girl." That one comment alone sent social media into a frenzy. And it didn't stop there. Online sleuths even slipped into David's private Discord server, uncovering messages that made things look way darker. In those chats, people claim Celeste vented about her parents, frustrated because they wouldn't let her go see him. That detail hit hard, making it seem like she was desperate to meet David, even clashing with family over it. Once those messages spread, suspicions skyrocketed that David was pulling her in with dangerous influence. Fans then dug up his past comments, including one controversial clip where he said, "Girls my age are retarded." That remark had people convinced he was deliberately targeting younger girls. Things spiraled further when resurfaced livestream footage showed Celeste calling him out as a pedophile, and David instantly ordered his mods to delete the recording. What made it even crazier was how his whole chat seemed in on the joke, tossing out references to Epstein files and islands, all of it hidden in plain sight for over 3 years. When investigators confirmed they had found the suspected murder weapon inside David's home, the chilling theory felt cemented. This wasn't bad luck. It looked like a deadly pattern. As police pieced evidence together, the community and internet exploded with emotion. In Lake Elsinore, residents gathered for a candlelight vigil in Celeste's memory. Neighbors and classmates showed up with flowers, candles, and tears. One woman told reporters, "I honestly feel so bad for Celeste. She was only 11. He was 17. She got groomed and maybe even manipulated into staying with him. So many people knew, but nobody spoke out. She got murdered so horribly. R.I.P." Online, outrage spread even faster. One viral post asked, "Why did David make her look so much like the girl in Romantic Homicide? This is disgusting." Another read, "The David situation really validates my disdain for these performative weirdo black goth vampire edge types." Even darker, fans began sharing alleged screenshots from David himself, disturbing captions paired with violent images like "me if I see her talking with other dudes next to a knife," and "me after hearing about her past with boys beside a nail gun," aimed right at a girl's head. And that's where this story takes an even bigger turn. Because this case isn't just about David anymore, it's about the cultural shockwave ripping through the entire entertainment industry. People are already comparing David to R. Kelly, saying the red flags were there all along: leaked songs, disturbing lyrics, questionable fan interactions. But nobody stepped in until it was far too late. One viral comment read, "At minimum, David should be in jail for being with a minor. He's Gen Z's R. Kelly." Others went even further, comparing him to Diddy, with some saying he makes Diddy look like a saint. And that alone shows just how bad this situation really is. This isn't just about one young girl's tragic death. It's about whether the music industry keeps shielding stars until the truth finally explodes in public. And now, with an arrest warrant already issued, it feels like only a matter of time before David is taken into custody. If more evidence comes to light, this could go down as one of the biggest celebrity trials of the decade, right up there with the cases that changed how America sees fame, money, and power. And that's where we'll leave it for now. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.